Hello my friends, great to see you for yet another video, and shockingly we all woke up today and World War III has not broken out. But that brings me to the question, how long before Donald Trump and his incompetence actually starts World War III? That's kind of where we're at. I stayed up a little bit too late last night, my friends, kind of watching all the news happen because apparently Donald Trump was at the G7. I guess that was taking place in Canada, if I understand correctly. I'm a little busy right now. I'm not out running in a truck like I normally am, so I'm kind of falling behind on news, but that's okay. I'll be back out there soon and get all caught up on that. But as a side note, I understand quite a few Canadians were pretty upset that Donald Trump was there in Canada. And I'm sorry, my Canadian friends, but could you just borrow him for just a little while? Just take him off our hands for just a little bit. I understand though, after he did all that 51st state nonsense and tried to slap tariffs all over Canada, I understand why you're upset. I don't ever know what ever happened to those tariffs. It seems like light years ago, doesn't it, my friends? We were dealing decades. I don't know about light years, but maybe decades ago that we were dealing with tariffs. That's old news at this point. But yeah, to my Canadian friends, I understand that you're upset. But what I understand is Donald Trump was rushing home to head to the Situation Room and figure out what we're going to do about Israel and Iran and everything that's going on over there. So a lot going on here, and I stayed up really late because the reason I stayed up late last night is because, if you guys didn't know this, Donald Trump is very incompetent. He's a lunatic, and he's an angry little man, and anytime he gets to blow something up, he's probably going to be happy to do it. So I kind of woke up surprised today to see that all hell has not broke loose yet. I'm a little bit surprised. I can only assume there must be an adult in the room still that's telling him that he's not allowed to blow things up. I'm not really sure. So anyways, as we know, all hell has broken loose between Israel and Iran. They have started launching missiles at each other. And my friends, I'm kind of ignorant to foreign affairs, foreign issues out there, so I kind of tend to stay away from it. But now it's starting to feel like this may actually be a possibility that everybody's going to start bombing everybody any damn minute. We've still got Russia and Ukraine going on, that war Donald Trump said he could solve on day one. He was going to put a stop to it, right? Or the war that he says never would have happened if he was president. But wait a minute. He was president once, and I don't know when that war actually broke out. I think it started with the annexation of Crimea that may have been under Obama. And if that's where you mark the start of this war, then Donald Trump was president after that. I don't fucking know. It's not my job to figure this shit out, my friends. I don't think it's even Donald Trump's job to figure this shit out. He just says a lot of stuff, and turns out millions of people line up to vote for him because they really like words, I guess. I don't really fucking know. And as far as this Israel and Iran thing, people have been asking me to jump in on this for a while, and why don't you say anything negative about Israel or anything like that? And the fact of the matter is, I really don't know enough about it. But hear me out. Hear me out. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place on this one, my friends. One, because I don't know enough about it to offer an opinion, but what I've seen of Israel over the last couple years that I've kind of been trying to pay attention to what's going on here is in these past few years, they've seemed quite fucking aggressive. They're happy to blow people up. That's sort of what's going on with the whole Gaza situation, I guess. And I understand there's this long history with Israel that may have led to these conflicts. So, hey, take what I said with a grain of salt. I could be fucking wrong about that, but it seems like Israel is very aggressive a lot of the time in these cases. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm open to learning more about this. I am not necessarily taking a hardliner stance on it necessarily. It's just my observation from the news that I'm able to get here in America when I'm paying attention to this one specific topic. But what makes it a rock and a hard place, my friends, is my entire life since I've been alive in America is I've been taught that Iran is bad. Iran is evil. And I do not know. I do not know. It could be that both countries are complete fucking dickheads, and they maybe are going to blow each other up. I don't really know. It could be that one's an aggressor and one's a victim here. Look, this is all going to unfold to a point that hopefully I understand better in the future. But the entire point of this video, my friends, is Donald Trump is pretending to be a tough guy on the internet right now because Donald Trump has a small pee-pee, my friends. That's why he acts the way he does. And I get it, right? You want to act like you're tough in the world. And look, America as a whole, I still believe is very strong militarily. Fucking could be wrong about that at this point because we got drunk ass Pete Hegseth running the show, and hell, he just takes a couple shots of whiskey and then everybody gets his fucking signal chats. So I don't know if we have any strength in the world really at this point with this fucking clown show running America. I don't really know. But I've noticed something about Donald Trump since this conflict has started that gives me cause, my friends, for concern. And I don't know if I should be concerned or not. Yeah, I do. It's Donald Trump. I 100% should be concerned. But I've noticed that he is taking to, I think it's Truth Social, could be Twitter. I don't have an account on either one, so I get this news kind of secondhand. But he's been sort of waving his tiny pee-pee around on social media about what America's going to do to Iran, what America can do to Iran, because, as we know, I think we've jumped into this war, my friends. I think it's unauthorized, or I don't really know. I think a declaration of war has to go through Congress. Like I said, I'm somewhat ignorant to these things, but when Iran started firing back and America's military was firing down Iranian missiles over Israel, I think we're involved. I think we just got dragged into a war. I think that's absolutely 100% what is going to happen. Now, there used to be a time in my life, my friends, where, obviously I'm not a pro-war person, but I never worried about war coming to America because America's military is so powerful, right? But here's my concerns, and here's the fucking point of this video, the concerns that I have. America is now led by the biggest dipshits that have ever existed on the planet. This is really fucking bad, right? On top of that, these dipshits are, you know how I'm always going off about their false bravado, their fake masculinity, all of that shit, making fun of it. This gives them the perfect opportunity to show off false bravado. That's not a good thing. That's absolutely not a good thing. So my concerns with it is a few things. With Donald Trump running to the internet to put out information about how much ass kicking his chubby ass is doing, is it possible that while he's doing that, he is giving away information to the world about what America is doing? Now, we know we have the press and they should be putting out information as it happens and things like that, but Donald Trump never waits for the press. He calls everything fake news. He believes everything he says is real, which is fucking bizarre because the guy's out of his fucking head. But with him running around the internet like that, is that going to be detrimental to America in what I think is inevitably a war that we've been dragged into? And then I have fucking other concerns. Do you know how Donald Trump has pissed off the rest of the world? Are you guys familiar with that, everything that's going on? If you're not, look, I get it. I'm not always up to speed on things. Yesterday, I put out a fucking video that was already outdated by the time I released it. Yeah, pissed me off. I was like, hey, Donald Trump folded on his immigration policies. Yeah, before I even got the thing goddamn uploaded, that policy had already changed, and he decided he's going to go harder on blue states and blue cities. Look, this is Donald Trump. This is the world we live in. So if you're not completely familiar with how Donald Trump pissed off the rest of the world, it's when he tried to bully the entire world through use of tariffs. Now, obviously, he pissed off Canada through tariffs, but also by saying he was going to turn them into the 51st state. He pissed off, oh God, whatever the fuck it is, dumb Americans, right? Whatever it is that the fucking Greenland belongs to, it's right here, my friends. It's right here in my brain, and maybe I'll remember what it is, but remember when he was going to annex Greenland, right? Remember when he was going to go steal the Panama Canal? And then, of course, remember all the times that he put tariffs on the entire world. Now, we're over there helping Israel in a war that, from my point of view, from what I understand of it, Israel started. Are they stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions, and is that a worthwhile thing? Maybe. Maybe I'm just, like I said, this is always such a touchy subject, and that's why I sound nervous right now, right? I'm not ready to condemn Israel just yet, and maybe sometimes I feel like I should. But also, if Iran is ran by unhinged lunatics that are looking for nuclear missiles, they need to fucking be stopped also. I need to learn a lot more about this. But the point is, we have been dragged into that war. So we've got jackass Donald Trump, and then we've got drunk DUI hire jackass Pete Hegseth running the Pentagon, who both are a bunch of chest-puffing douchebags that fucking don't actually accomplish anything, running to the internet to talk about all the great things they're doing. Donald Trump has pissed off the entire world, and if you're going to strike America, now's the fucking time to do it. That's the part I'm worried about, my friends. Everybody's mad at us, and we're distracted with what's going on over here. Does that mean necessarily that we can't pay attention to two things at once? No, I don't think that at all. But I think there could be a point where we get spread very thin on this entire thing, and the rest of the world is sick of our shit. I think with these assholes in charge of America, you know, the guy that ran on No New Wars, then immediately went to Israel to shoot down Iranian missiles, remember that? Yeah, I don't get it either, my friends. But I think with these assholes running everything, I think with how angry Donald Trump's made the rest of the world, we could very well see ourselves drug into a world war at this point because of Israel and Iran's actions. Whoever's to fucking blame, I still got more to learn. There's a reason I'm nervous about that, all right? But anyways, we're drug into that. You guys get the fucking point. I just ran out of steam. I am very, very concerned with the state of this, with these assholes running America. And I believe that the other countries are specifically looking for weaknesses in America right now because the actions of Donald Trump and because of the lack of action of our Congress and Senate to stop Donald Trump. Point of the video? I think this is going to get a lot fucking worse is what I think, and I'm shocked that today we woke up and it wasn't fucking worse. That's the whole point of the video. Anyways, I think we might be staring down the barrel of actual World War III now. This is kind of how this shit happens, obviously. Couple countries start squabbling with each other. Other countries come in to reinforce or back up other countries. Next thing you know, somebody gets shot at, a plane gets blown up, a ship gets sank, and all hell breaks loose. And with the temperament of Donald Trump, I am not going to be surprised if this happens within the next few days. Anyways, I understand that I got nervous at some parts of this video because on the internet you can't say fucking anything right, no matter what you say. But I got a lot to learn on it. I do feel like over the last few years at least, Israel has been very aggressive towards people surrounding them. And that's just kind of where I'm at with the whole thing. But I'm an evolving person. I learn as I go. And hell, my opinion might change on that later. I don't know. Anyways, love you guys. Bye now.